Something isn't right. Strange events happen, then get buried. Weird things go unexplained. The government declassifies documents, decades too late. Are we being told the truth? Today we're diving into 101 of the weirdest and most shocking conspiracy facts. Some sound insane, others have disturbing evidence behind them. I know some of these might just sound like myths, but others? They might be the truth we were never supposed to know. Which ones are real and which are pure fiction? You decide. 1. In 2017, the CIA declassified nearly 12 million pages of secret documents, revealing that the US government had actively researched psychic abilities, remote viewing, and even mind-controlled assassins. They experimented with techniques to implant thoughts, control behavior, and even kill people remotely. The program was supposedly shut down. But if they got real results, would they really just stop? 2. The Denver International Airport cost $2 billion more than originally planned. It has an underground tunnel system no one fully understands, an apocalyptic mural showing soldiers in gas masks killing people, and a time capsule with a Freemason symbol on it. Aerial photos show its runways form a swastika. Some believe it's a secret headquarters for the global elite, built to withstand some future disaster. But why does an airport need all this? 3. Since 1916, over 1,600 people have vanished without a trace in U.S. national parks. The government refuses to keep an official list of these cases, despite evidence that many victims were found miles away from where they disappeared, barefoot in the snow, with no footprints leading to or from the site. Some were missing organs with no sign of an animal attack. Why won't the National Park Service talk about this? 4. Your smartphone is always listening. Ever casually mention a product in conversation, then see an ad for it minutes later? Facebook, Google, and Apple deny listening to you, but leaked NSA documents show that U.S. intelligence has backdoor access to virtually every microphone and camera in America. The official excuse? Security. But who's securing us from them? 5. In 2011, the Pentagon released CONOP 88888, a real military strategy document detailing a plan for handling a zombie apocalypse. It includes scenarios for dealing with pathogen-induced zombies, radiation zombies, and even evil magic zombies. The government insists it was just a training exercise. But why does it specify how to isolate infected populations and impose martial law? 6. The U.S. Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank that controls the country's money supply. That means every dollar you own is controlled by a small, unelected group of people who can print money at will. In 2008, the Fed secretly gave out $16 trillion in emergency loans to banks and corporations without telling the public. This is who actually runs America. 7. The U.S. government tested mind-control drugs on thousands of unsuspecting Americans. Under Project MKUltra, the CIA conducted 149 sub-projects on civilians, mental patients, prisoners, and even U.S. soldiers without their consent. In one experiment, a prisoner was given LSD for 77 days straight just to see what would happen. The program was shut down, or so they claim. 8. The U.S. government has an official plan for alien contact. In 2020, the Pentagon declassified 3 videos of real UFOs, now called UAPs. In 2023, former intelligence officer David Grush testified under oath that the U.S. has recovered alien spacecraft and non-human biological remains. Why isn't this the biggest news story in history? 9. Every major social media site was funded by U.S. intelligence. Facebook, Google, and Twitter all received early investment money from In-Q-Tel, the venture capital arm of the CIA. That means the platforms where we share our private thoughts and opinions were, from the start, partially controlled by the intelligence community. 10. Epstein's client list has never been released. A billionaire with high-level political and celebrity connections was arrested for running an international human trafficking operation, yet somehow his clients remain a mystery. Over 50 cameras malfunctioned the night of his suicide, and the media immediately dropped the story. What exactly are they hiding? 11. The U.S. government once detonated nuclear bombs in space. In 1962, under Project Starfish Prime, the military launched a 1.4 megaton nuclear bomb into Earth's upper atmosphere just to see what would happen. The explosion was visible across Hawaii, knocked out radio signals, and created an artificial radiation belt. What were they really testing? 12. Walmart has underground tunnels. Some ex-employees claim there's a hidden network of tunnels under multiple Walmart stores, possibly used for secret military operations or mass detention centers. In 2015, multiple Walmarts shut down overnight citing plumbing issues, except no plumbing work was ever done. Why does the military use Walmarts for training exercises? 13. The CIA once tried to create real-life remote-controlled dogs. Declassified documents reveal they surgically implanted electrodes into dogs' brains to control their movements remotely. This was in the 1960s. If they were doing this 60 years ago, what level of control do they have over humans today? 14. Water isn't just water. The US government has been intentionally adding fluoride to the water supply since 1945, claiming it prevents tooth decay. But declassified military reports show that fluoride was also used in mind control experiments. Many countries have outright banned fluoridation, but the US still insists it's safe. 15. The government has technology that can read your mind. In 2018, DARPA announced a brain-computer interface project that allows users to control machines with their thoughts. But leaked military documents suggest the real goal is to read and influence human thought patterns. If they're telling us this now, how much further have they actually gone? 16. Your fingerprints aren't just for security. In 2019, Amazon and the FBI signed a deal allowing law enforcement direct access to Ring doorbell footage. That means if you own a Ring camera, the government can watch your front door anytime they want. Oh, and that fingerprint scanner on your phone? It's feeding biometric data into a database that could track you for life. 17. Something is happening in Antarctica. Satellite images show massive blacked-out areas that don't appear on any official maps. Leaked documents suggest there could be ancient ruins buried under the ice. And in 2016, top US officials, including John Kerry, visited Antarctica for reasons unknown. What's buried down there? 18. The US military faked a Cuban attack to start a war. In 1962, the Pentagon proposed Operation Northwoods, a plan to fake terrorist attacks on American soil and blame Cuba, justifying a war. They planned to bomb US cities, hijack planes, and even kill Americans. The operation was rejected, but if they thought of doing it once, what else have they done? 19. The internet is rigged. A leaked government document called The Internet of Bodies revealed a plan to use smart devices to monitor human behavior in real time. That means your phone, TV, smart fridge, and even your car could be spying on you. How much of what you see online is actually controlled? 20. Disney might be manipulating time itself. In 2013, Disney released Frozen, a global blockbuster. But some theorists believe the film's real purpose was to bury Google search results about Walt Disney's frozen body. Before the movie, if you searched Disney Frozen, you'd find conspiracies about Walt Disney being cryogenically preserved. Now, just happy songs and cartoons. 21. The CIA has a heart attack gun. In the 1970s, a US Senate hearing revealed that the CIA developed a weapon that shoots a tiny poison dart, causing a heart attack that leaves no trace. The victim's death appears natural. If they had this tech 50 years ago, what do they have now? 22. Most ATMs and traffic cameras use outdated software. In 2020, a whistleblower revealed that over 90% of ATMs in the US still run on Windows XP, an operating system from 2001. The government has known this for years but never forces banks to upgrade. Why? Because outdated systems are easier to hack, especially by intelligence agencies. 23. The US government once planned to fake an alien invasion. Leaked documents suggest the Reagan administration considered a project called Project Bluebeam, which would use holograms and advanced sound tech to stage a fake extraterrestrial attack, to unite the world under one government. Some believe modern UFO disclosures are just the next step of this plan. 24. U.S. submarines have encountered impossible underwater objects. Navy sonar operators have reported unidentified submerged objects, USOs, moving at speeds far beyond what any known technology can achieve. Unlike UFOs, these are seen deep underwater, where no human craft should be able to operate. What's down there? 25. A billionaire secretly built a nuclear-proof bunker for the elite. In 2017, reports surfaced that investor Peter Thiel bought a massive underground facility in New Zealand designed to withstand nuclear war. He's not alone. Many tech billionaires have been quietly building private bunkers. What exactly are they preparing for? 26. The U.S. military openly admits to developing super soldiers. In 2019, the Pentagon released a report discussing genetic modifications to enhance soldiers' strength, endurance, and cognitive abilities. This is no longer sci-fi. This is happening right now. How far have they already gone? 27. The 5G towers. Conspiracy might not be entirely false. While the wildest claims about 5G aren't true, declassified U.S. military documents confirm that high-frequency electromagnetic waves can be used for crowd control, psychological warfare, and altering human brain activity. If that's public knowledge, what's classified? 28. The U.S. government once seriously investigated the possibility of a hollow Earth. Declassified military reports from the early 20th century suggest that some explorers believed the Earth might contain vast hidden civilizations beneath its surface. Why was this theory taken so seriously by high-level officials? 29. A U.S. lab created mosquitoes that can inject vaccines. In 2023, researchers in Maryland successfully genetically modified mosquitoes to deliver vaccines through their bites. Officially, it was just an experiment. But if they can do this now, imagine what else has already been tested in the wild. 30. The government has technology that can erase memories. DARPA has openly researched electroceutical implants that can disrupt brain signals and alter memory formation. Officially, it's for treating PTSD. But what if this technology can do more, like making people forget what they saw? 31. The U.S. government owns a mind-reading AI. In 2021, a former NSA contractor revealed that the military had developed AI capable of predicting human thoughts based on micro-expressions, speech patterns, and brainwave analysis. Officially, it's for preventing crime. But what if it's already being used? 32. The U.S. tested weaponized weather manipulation. Declassified documents confirm that during the Vietnam War, the U.S. used cloud seeding to extend monsoons and flood enemy supply routes. If they had this power in the 1960s, imagine what they can do now. 33. The government has been conducting human experiments without consent. In 2022, it was revealed that the U.S. Army secretly infected people with bacteria and chemicals as part of biological warfare research. This happened in San Francisco, St. Louis, and New York City. If this is what we know about, what else has been done? 34. AI-generated fake people are everywhere. Intelligence agencies now create entire fake social media personas using AI-generated faces. These people never existed but have profiles, jobs, and even families online. If the government is flooding the internet with fake identities, how much of what we see is even real? 35. The FBI once had a secret file on Bigfoot. In 2019, the FBI declassified a file confirming that they had analyzed alleged Bigfoot hair samples. Why would the federal government take a Bigfoot case seriously if there was nothing to it? 36. The U.S. has doomsday planes ready for nuclear war. The U.S. Air Force operates a fleet of E-4B Nightwatch aircraft, massive planes built to survive a nuclear apocalypse. They can stay in the air for days without landing and serve as mobile command centers. If they have these planes, are they expecting to use them? 37. The U.S. once planned to nuke the moon. Under Project A-119, the Pentagon considered detonating a nuclear bomb on the lunar surface as a show of force during the Cold War. What exactly were they trying to prove? 38. The Great Blackout of 2003 may have been a cyber attack. In August 2003, 50 million Americans lost power across the US and Canada. Officials blamed a software bug, but leaked intelligence reports suggest it may have been a cyber attack by a foreign nation, or even a test run for future blackouts. 39. The government can shut down your car remotely. In 2015, FBI documents confirmed that modern vehicles with electronic systems can be hacked and remotely disabled. Some believe this tech has already been used in suspicious accidents involving high-profile individuals. 40. The US government has developed black goo nanotechnology capable of self-replication. Some classified DARPA research suggests the existence of programmable nanomaterials that can repair damaged equipment, mimic organic tissue, or even act as a biological weapon. If such tech exists, what else can it do? 41. The US has earthquake weapons. In 1997, former US Secretary of Defense William Cohen publicly stated that terrorist groups and nations are developing ways to trigger earthquakes and volcanoes remotely. The US military has researched seismic weapons since at least the 1960s. If they were worried about it back then, who actually has that technology now? 42. The US government has an undisclosed emergency food supply hidden in remote locations. Whistleblowers claim the federal government has massive stockpiles of non-perishable food and essential supplies stored in underground bunkers, supplies not intended for the general public. If a crisis happens, who are they actually preparing for? 43. The CIA had a secret plan to assassinate Fidel Castro using exploding seashells. Declassified documents show that the US government tried to kill Castro at least 638 times, using poisoned wetsuits, exploding cigars, and even a bizarre seashell bomb. If this was real, what other insane covert ops have never been exposed? 44. The military is working on invisibility cloaks. Scientists at the US Army Research Lab have developed metamaterial cloaks that bend light, making objects invisible. If this tech is public knowledge, how advanced is the classified version? 45. The US military once considered building a space-based death ray. Declassified reports from the 1980s confirm that during the Reagan administration, the Pentagon explored developing orbital laser weapons under the Star Wars project. If they were thinking about space weapons decades ago, what's actually up there now? 46. Your phone is tracking you, even when it's off. In 2013, Edward Snowden leaked documents proving that the NSA can track the location of a smartphone, even when it's powered down. That's why some government officials remove batteries from their phones in sensitive meetings. If they're doing that, what should we be doing? 47. The US government ran a fake vaccination program to track people. In 2011, the CIA used a fake polio vaccination campaign in Pakistan to collect DNA samples while hunting Osama bin Laden. After this was exposed, multiple countries banned Western vaccine programs. If they did this once, who's to say they haven't done it again? 48. The Pentagon has a classified kill list. The US military has an official program called the Disposition Matrix, which determines who gets targeted for drone strikes worldwide. Some of these targets aren't even in active war zones. If there's a list for people overseas, could there be one for people inside the US? 49. The government has tested gay bombs. In 1994, declassified Air Force documents revealed a proposal for a chemical weapon that would cause enemy soldiers to become sexually attracted to each other as a form of psychological warfare. Officially, it was never developed. But if this was an actual research project, what else is sitting in classified labs? 50. Certain US forests have entire sections that are off-limits. Some areas of national forest in the US have been declared completely restricted zones with no public access allowed. Some of these areas have military-style fencing, unmarked vehicles, and occasional armed patrols. What exactly is in those forests that we aren't supposed to see? 51. FEMA has hundreds of fully operational detention camps across the US. Declassified government documents confirm that FEMA has over 800 emergency facilities across the country, many of which have barbed wire facing inward, a sign of containment, not protection. These camps remain fully staffed and maintained, despite officially being unused. Why prepare for mass detention if there's no plan to use it? 52. The government has a kill switch for all consumer electronics. Some tech insiders claim that modern smartphones, laptops, and even smart appliances have hidden software that allows them to be remotely disabled or bricked by government agencies. If this backdoor exists, who controls it? 53. Google Earth has blacked out locations that don't seem to have any reason for secrecy. While military bases being blurred makes sense, locations like a massive section of Greenland, a site in Mongolia, and an entire facility in the Nevada desert are also mysteriously censored. These places are far from civilization, so what exactly are they hiding? 54. The CIA secretly funded modern art to influence culture. Declassified documents confirm that in the 1950s, the CIA pumped millions of dollars into promoting abstract expressionism, like Jackson Pollock's chaotic paintings. The reason? To shift culture away from Soviet realism and prove that American creativity was superior. So, how much of modern pop culture is actually manufactured? 55. The US military sprayed radioactive particles over major American cities. Under Operation LAC, Large Area Coverage, the Pentagon released radioactive zinc-cadmium sulfide into the air over cities like St. Louis and San Francisco to study how it would spread in a nuclear attack. Over 2 million Americans were unknowingly exposed to radiation. The public was never informed. 56. The US military has technology that can see through walls. In 2016, DARPA tested Range-R radar devices that allow agents to detect movement inside buildings from a distance. Officially, this is used in war zones, but law enforcement agencies in the US have already deployed it, without public knowledge. 57. The US government trained psychic spies. Under Project Stargate, the Pentagon spent $20 million training people to use remote viewing, a supposed ability to see distant locations using only the mind. The program lasted more than 20 years, meaning the military saw something valuable in it. Did it actually work? 58. The world came seconds away from nuclear annihilation multiple times. In 1983, a Soviet officer named Stanislav Petrov ignored a warning that the US had launched 5 nuclear missiles. It turned out to be a computer glitch. Had he followed protocol, the entire world would have been destroyed. How many other close calls have been covered up? 59. The internet you see isn't the real internet. Intelligence agencies use AI algorithms to suppress, promote, or outright delete information. In 2018, whistleblowers revealed that Google manually downranks certain news sites in search results. That means some information may never even reach the public. 60. Major food companies scientifically design their products to be addictive. Internal industry documents reveal that corporations use mathematical formulas to create the perfect balance of sugar, fat, and salt, triggering the brain's dopamine system the same way as hard drugs. Ever wonder why you can't stop eating certain snacks? It's not an accident. 61. The US Navy patents suggest they have UFO-level technology. In 2019, the US Navy patented a hybrid aerospace underwater craft that can move at extreme speeds in both air and water. It operates on a high-energy electromagnetic field. The Navy claims these are just theoretical inventions, but insiders say they've already been tested. 62. The US military planned a mind control weapon using electromagnetic waves. Declassified documents show that in the early 2000s, the Pentagon researched Silent Sound Spread Spectrum (SSS) technology, capable of implanting thoughts directly into the human brain using low-frequency radio waves. The project was discontinued. But was it really? 63. DARPA is developing AI that can predict crimes before they happen. The Kairos program is an AI system designed to analyze facial expressions, online activity, and movement patterns to determine if someone will commit a crime before they actually do it. This sounds like science fiction, except it's real. 64. A government lab accidentally created a virus that killed 100% of test subjects. In 2013, scientists at a top U.S. biolab accidentally engineered a hybrid bird flu virus that was so deadly, it killed every single test ferret it was exposed to. The experiment was shut down after public outrage. But if they made that virus by accident, what could they do on purpose? 65. The U.S. Census Bureau has secretly shared Americans' personal data with law enforcement. In 2020, a report revealed that the Census Bureau had been providing confidential data on citizens to law enforcement agencies, despite repeatedly claiming that census data is completely private. 66. A U.S. military study found that time travel might be theoretically possible. Declassified research from the U.S. Air Force explored the potential of closed time-like curves, mathematical loops that could allow for backward time travel. If the military spent time on this, were they just theorizing or testing? 67. The FBI has a secret black vault of unsolved cases and paranormal incidents. Over 16,000 pages of FBI records detail investigations into psychic phenomena, unexplained disappearances, and UFO encounters. The files include cases where multiple witnesses reported the exact same phenomenon, but no official explanation was given. 68. There's a classified FEMA document on what to do in the event of a zombie outbreak. FEMA has an official plan for dealing with mass hysteria, reanimated biological threats, and pathogen-based behavioral changes. It was classified as a hypothetical exercise, but the level of detail suggests it was taken very seriously. 69. The U.S. government has lost track of at least 6 nuclear bombs. Over the years, there have been multiple broken arrow incidents where nuclear weapons were lost and never recovered. One of them, off the coast of Georgia, is still sitting at the bottom of the ocean, fully armed. 70. The CIA's Operation Mockingbird placed government agents inside newsrooms. In the 1950s, the CIA ran a program where journalists from major U.S. newspapers, TV networks, and radio stations were secretly working as government operatives. The program was ended after being exposed. But what if it never actually stopped? 71. The U.S. military has been conducting human augmentation experiments. In 2021, a Pentagon report admitted that the military was actively researching ways to enhance soldiers using genetic engineering, brain implants, and AI integration. The report states that human augmentation is no longer a question of if, but when. 72. The NSA is listening to everything, even encrypted messages. In 2013, Edward Snowden leaked documents showing that the NSA has a program called PRISM, which allows them to access emails, messages, and even video calls from major tech companies like Google, Apple, and Facebook. And no, encryption doesn't fully protect you. 73. There's a vast underground tunnel network beneath Las Vegas, but no one knows who built it. Homeless people have reported strange, off-limits sections, and multiple researchers claim the tunnels may be part of an old classified project. If these tunnels were just for flood control, why do some of them have reinforced blast doors and security checkpoints? 74. The U.S. government is hiding a mysterious illness affecting diplomats and spies. Since 2016, dozens of U.S. diplomats and CIA officers have suffered from Havana syndrome, a mysterious condition linked to directed energy weapons. Victims report sudden nausea, vertigo, and even brain damage. If a foreign power is attacking U.S. personnel, why isn't this a bigger story? 75. The U.S. has experimented with invisibility technology. In 1943, the Philadelphia experiment allegedly tested technology that could make a naval ship disappear from radar. Decades later, the U.S. military officially confirmed research into metamaterials capable of bending light around objects, effectively making them invisible. If they've admitted that much, what haven't they admitted? 76. A U.S. scientist claims the government is covering up evidence of an ancient advanced civilization. In 2021, Dr. Robert Schoch, a geologist at Boston University, stated that evidence of an advanced human civilization older than 12,000 years exists, but is deliberately ignored by mainstream archaeology. Why? Because it would rewrite human history. 77. The U.S. Navy has patents for free energy devices. One patent describes a plasma compression fusion device capable of generating unlimited clean energy. If real, it would make fossil fuels obsolete. So why has nothing ever been built? Some believe corporate interests are blocking its development. 78. The FBI has a secret watch list that includes American citizens. A leaked report confirmed that the FBI maintains a classified list of individuals deemed potential threats. People can be added without their knowledge, without a trial, and with no way to appeal. Even journalists and whistleblowers have appeared on it. 79. The military is preparing for war in space. The Pentagon created the U.S. Space Force in 2019, and official reports confirm the development of space-based weapons, including kinetic bombardment systems. Rods of tungsten that can be dropped from orbit with the impact of a nuclear explosion, but without radiation. If they're building these weapons, are they already in use? 80. The U.S. government has an official plan for surviving a total societal collapse. The program is called Continuity of Government, COG, and it includes protocols for the elite to relocate to underground bunkers while the general public is left to fend for itself. These plans have existed since the Cold War and are still being updated today. 81. The Apollo 11 moon landing transmission was mysteriously lost for decades. The original high-quality footage and telemetry data from the first moon landing disappeared from NASA's archives, only to be partially restored years later. Why would one of the most important historical records in human history simply vanish? 82. The U.S. military may have built secret bases on the moon. The Project Horizon Report, 1959, proposed establishing a permanent nuclear-armed military base on the moon by the 1960s. Officially, it never happened, but some believe covert lunar operations have continued in secret. 83. The CIA once had a secret operation to create Manchurian candidates. Under Project Artichoke, the agency experimented with extreme psychological techniques, hypnosis, and drug-induced programming to create mind-controlled assassins. If they were testing this decades ago, how much further have they come? 84. The deep sea is as classified as outer space. The U.S. government restricts public access to certain deep-sea areas, and classified Navy sonar data suggests the presence of massive, unidentified underwater objects, USOs. What's moving in the ocean that we aren't allowed to see? 85. The military has tested mind-reading helmets for soldiers. In 2017, the Pentagon confirmed experiments with brain-computer interfaces that allow soldiers to communicate telepathically. If they're willing to admit this, how advanced is the classified version? 86. The U.S. once detonated nuclear bombs in space. Under Project Starfish Prime, a 1.4 megaton bomb was detonated 250 miles above Earth, creating an artificial radiation belt. The explosion knocked out satellites and disrupted communications worldwide. What were they really testing? 87. Self-driving cars can be remotely hijacked. Cybersecurity experts have demonstrated that modern cars with AI systems can be hacked and controlled remotely. In 2013, journalist Michael Hastings' car mysteriously accelerated to 100 mph before crashing. Some believe it was remotely sabotaged. 88. The U.S. has an airborne aircraft carrier. In 2022, reports emerged about a classified Pentagon project involving a flying mothership that deploys drone swarms in combat. Officially, it's still experimental, but has it already been used in secret missions? 89. DNA databases might not just be for genealogy. Services like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA collect genetic data. But in 2019, it was revealed that some of these companies shared data with law enforcement and even the Pentagon. Are people unknowingly handing over their DNA for future surveillance? 90. The U.S. military has a facility capable of manipulating the atmosphere. The High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, in Alaska, was officially designed to study the ionosphere. However, many believe its real purpose is weather manipulation and even mind control experiments. The U.S. military ran the facility until 2015, so why did they suddenly shut it down right when public suspicion grew? 91. The US military has a silent weapon that can paralyze people without them realizing it. The active denial system, ADS, is a real military weapon that fires an invisible microwave beam, causing unbearable burning pain. But leaked documents suggest that more advanced versions can disable targets entirely, without them knowing why. 92. The government has contingency plans for a complete internet blackout. Classified FEMA and NSA documents reveal that in case of national emergency, all civilian internet access can be cut off instantly. Some believe the government is already testing localized internet shutdowns. 93. The Pentagon has synthetic blood that can keep soldiers alive longer. In 2018, DARPA confirmed the development of synthetic blood substitutes that dramatically extend survival times after traumatic injuries. If this exists for soldiers, why isn't it available for civilians? 94. The US has been conducting biological tests in the subway systems. In 2016, it was revealed that the government ran covert biological aerosol tests in the New York subway to study how pathogens would spread. The public was never informed. How many of these experiments are still happening? 95. A classified hypersonic drone may already be operational. Reports suggest the existence of the SR-72 Darkstar, a hypersonic spy drone capable of flying at Mach 6, 4,600 mph. Officially, it's still in development, but multiple high-speed aircraft sightings suggest it might already be in use. 96. The CIA has a secret airline. Ever heard of Air America? It was a fake airline used by the CIA for covert operations. Some believe the agency still operates secret airlines today for missions that never appear on government records. 97. The military has developed a way to communicate directly with the human brain. In 2021, DARPA announced progress in non-invasive brain-to-brain communication, a technology that allows people to send thoughts to each other without speaking. If they're admitting this now, how advanced is the classified version? 98. The government has secret underground seed vaults. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway is officially designed to preserve crops in case of catastrophe. But the US also has multiple classified seed storage facilities. Some say they're not just storing seeds, but genetically modified crops for a post-collapse world. 99. The US has biolabs worldwide that conduct controversial experiments. The Pentagon funds classified biological research labs in multiple countries, many of which have been accused of testing dangerous pathogens and conducting risky experiments without public oversight. 100. The US has plans for a cashless society where every transaction is monitored. Some financial analysts believe the push for digital currency and the elimination of physical cash is part of a long-term plan to create a fully trackable and controllable economic system. 101. There are unexplained artificial signals coming from deep space. Scientists have detected fast radio bursts, FRBs, that repeat in patterns and seem to originate from unknown sources. Some have theorized these could be evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence or secret military transmissions. If we're listening, could something out there be listening to us too? So, after hearing all one of these theories, which ones do you think are actually true? Some of them sound insane. Some feel like pure fiction. But others, they hit way too close to reality. Drop a comment and tell me, which one blew your mind the most? And if you know a conspiracy that wasn't on this list, share it below. Make sure to subscribe because there are even crazier theories out there that we haven't even touched yet. And trust me, you don't want to miss them.